or the lack thereof this morning. Look at that. Empty. Empty. It's a little bit heartbreaking, but it's also nice to put the garden to bed. Now, our first, I keep saying last frost because it's like the end of the year. Our first frost date was yesterday. So I collected some help from my brother who's living with us for the fall and winter, and we blank slated the garden for the most part. There's a few things still here. I'm going to be wrinkling every last minute that I can out of these Mexican marigold or Mexican sunflowers. They're still kicking it. Aren't they just pretty? I love them. Yeah. So I'm gonna see how long this will last, and if it lasts very far into like the freezing weather. I'm also leaving my zinnias here just because they're so beautiful. I want them to reseed right in this spot. I think this is a good spot for them, and yeah, that's about all that I've left. I've left some onions because I know those will last the winter pretty well, especially if they're mulched. And yeah, blank slate. So oh, and the fennel, all this green fluffy stuff down here, that's fennel, which hopefully will bulb up over the fall. But yeah, that's what's been going down this week. I feel like I've actually been quite productive this week in the garden, which is a nice feeling because I've been feeling behind on like everything, and yeah, it's up a little bit. The chickens are out. It's nice for them to be out, and we finally started getting eggs last week. We've had about one a day, so it's coming on. And I actually I talked with my neighbor last week, and he said that his chickens were not laying either. So I don't know if it's just weather, weird weather maybe. We've had kind of a late winter. We got snow in April, and then the summer was like really hot late, and then suddenly, right as we approached our first frost date, started getting cool. So I don't know if that's the deal, but he said he hasn't been getting eggs, and he knows of other neighbors around that haven't been getting eggs from their chickens either. So it was kind of a relief to know that it wasn't just us. And yeah, what can you do? I'm still looking for a home for our chicken, for our rooster. The chicken's name was Eden, and Woody dubbed him Hedon, which is so silly. It's funny. He's a gorgeous rooster and really nice, and I would like to find a home for him. I know that how hard it can be for people to find nice roosters that don't want to just kill you and eat you. So we're gonna try and find a good home for him, and if we can't, then he'll just be Chicken and Dumplings will be his name instead of Eden. So I have my suspicions about one of the other chickens. Unfortunately, it's another Americana. I think that I have like in a few of my pictures on my shoulder, Hero I think might be a rooster, but we'll see. I just think he's too pretty to be a hen, but its legs are smaller, there's no spurs, and there's no like long feathers anywhere. Like, it doesn't have the long tail feathers or anything. It's just really pretty and not as fluffy as the other hens. But it hasn't quite fully matured. Like, its comb isn't red yet, or its earlobes, you know. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye out. That would be unfortunate if I lost 2 of the egg layers that I wanted to have colorful eggs from. But yeah, the chickens are... I'll turn this around here because they're so cute. I just want you guys to see the chickens for a minute. I know I've been like crazy chicken lady the last couple weeks, but they're so cute. They're so happy in the garden. There's the rooster, and there's a few out here. This is Gandalf the Grey. So if you guys know anybody looking for a nice rooster, come take this one. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't know. His feet are massive. He doesn't have huge spurs yet, but his feet are massive. Way big. This is tiny, not so tiny anymore. And this silver-laced Wyandotte, my husband named Balerion the Dread. And she is laying eggs. She just laid her first really funny shaped, you know, new layer eggs. Anyways, it's so nice to see them out in the yard and in the garden cleaning. Well, they're not really cleaning up. They're kind of making a bigger mess, but it's nice to see them out in the garden doing their chicken thing, scratching, and hopefully they get like all of the bugs and just do a really thorough job of cleaning up all the bugs and like the weed seeds, right? But yeah, that's what's been going on. We came out a couple days ago and yeah, cleared the garden away. We brought in loads and loads and loads of green tomatoes. So the plan is to do like a green tomato chutney maybe. I found a recipe online for green tomato marmalade, which just sounds like it could be really delicious. Hopefully it's a little bit windy. Hopefully it's not so windy that it's causing my audio to be funky, but yeah, I think green... Is it lunchtime? No. Maybe I'll make you another egg. Okay. You remember this morning I told you eggs for breakfast? And if you didn't want it, that's fine, but then you're gonna have to wait for lunch. It's gonna be a long time, I know. You'll live. It's a consequence. You will. Okay, can you go in the house and wait for me patiently? Thank you. Yes, so green tomato marmalade, I think I may try just a small batch. I'd like to try some small batches of things, especially with the green tomatoes, because I think I've had 1 or 2 green tomato dishes ever in my life, and so I don't know how to prepare it best. So I'm going to try some different recipes. By the way, if you know of any or you use some that are just like your favorites, let me know so I can try them. Anyways, we brought in all the tomatoes. We had a good we used our like seed starting tray. So we had a good 10 by 10 seed tray full of tomatillos and 2 or 3 of regular tomatoes. We had a few zucchini, but I think that it's cooled off enough that the zucchini plant was done anyways. So we got a couple of those and um, tossed it. I didn't harvest any broccoli, which was just maddening. Um, there, I think I put this in my last live video. There were so many aphids on it. It was like dandruff. So I am happy to let the chickens into this area to kind of help quell that situation, take care of it. There's not many plants around that the aphids will get into. Everything has been cleared away and either put in the chicken run or put where the chickens have access to it, because I know they'll eat those bugs and stuff. But yeah, the compost pile is huge. The chickens have a ton of vegetables right now in their run, so we're gonna leave that stuff there for them to kind of scratch and pick through for a few days, and then like the big bulky broccoli, I think the broccoli and the pretty much anything we had in the garden that wasn't a nightshade, we tossed in the chicken run. So all of that stuff that's still bulky, we're gonna bring and put into our this compost bin. I like to put all of the big bulky stuff in there to break down while I'm letting the finer compost continue to ripen. So we're gonna be doing some composting over the next couple of weeks. I need to clean out the compost that the chickens have in their run, and we're gonna start just hauling all of that stuff out. We still want to finish filling the 2 garden beds that are towards the front of the garden, like near the chicken run. They still have about, I don't know, 1.5 foot or so of depth that we want to fill up. None of the garden beds are completely full as we want them to be, and they may never be quite completely full. You know, they won't just stay full because of how we did the garden beds. We used a hugelkultur method, which is filling it with fine twigs and sticks and stuff like that in the bottom, and then loading it up with finer materials up near the top. So there's always going to be some compression that happens from year to year, which is good because I want to be able to add to each garden bed every spring and fall to be able to keep the soil life really healthy. So that's fine. I anticipated that. This Mexican sunflower, when it's done, is probably going to go mostly to the rabbit, and then I'm considering maybe putting it over the keyhole garden after we compost and mulch it, and just kind of use it to protect from the chickens going too crazy in there. I want them in there, but last year they really dug up that keyhole bed so much that I had to replace some of what I started with. Yeah. That's the garden this week. What else? Oh, so when I do the green tomato stuff, I'll try and film that. I know I've been terrible. I keep saying I want to put stuff up on Facebook and Instagram, which I do. I know a lot of you follow me there, and you know, reels and shorts and stuff. But life has been really busy. And while I have been filming, I haven't been sat down at my computer to actually post anything or spent time sitting on my phone. It seems so silly because I know that when I sit down and do it, it's only going to take a few moments, but you know. Hi Wendy, good morning. Anyways, yeah, that's what it's been this week. Let's see, I do want to do some reels on sourdough, so I want to do a crumpet recipe and my naan bread recipe and show you guys how it's done on there. If you haven't started sourdough, it's really easy. You don't have to jump right into making fancy breads and artisan things. You can make pancakes. that was the thing that I very first started with on sourdough, was making pancakes. And let me tell you, sourdough pancakes are like the most delicious thing in the world. You caught me live. Good morning. Welcome. Yeah, so if you haven't started sourdough, start with pancakes, crumpets. The naan bread is maybe like this much more advanced than those other things, but it's actually, I've found using the sourdough in actual dough where you're making a bread type thing, is a little bit easier than doing it, for me anyways, than using like a active yeast or something that's going to cause your bread dough to rise really fast, because you can mix it all together and set it on the counter, and like my naan bread rises for 8 hours, so I can start it as I leave the house to walk the kids to school, and then right around dinner time it's ready to either separate into portion sizes and store in the fridge, or I can make some, and we've used those to make pizzas almost every week, and we make little, I do like little flatbread with Nutella on it for the kids with their eggs in the morning, and it's been a handy like flatbread tortilla type ingredient to have around the house. Anyways, what else do I want to do? Oh, we have a freezer full of tomatoes still that we need to take care of, so maybe I'll have the privilege to film Woody doing his kitchen thing, because really in this house the kitchen belongs to Woody and not me. Like I like baking and cooking, but he just has this like passion running through his veins for being in the kitchen, and so I would love to be able to share his passion for cooking with you guys. I think that would be really great, if he'll allow me, and as long as he's not in his underwear. He does like to run around in the winter in his pajamas and his underwear. It's his comfort thing. Anyways, let's see. Yeah. So I don't know. I might be out of things. Last night, the oldest Ginger was, well, it wasn't in the night, it was actually like 4:30 this morning. He was up with, I think it was allergies. Yes, pants would be appreciated, right? He was up with what I think is allergies, and he woke up early, and then he didn't fall asleep until it was actually time for him to wake up and get ready for school. So we are going to have a day full of playing hooky today. We're not hanging around the house. We're going to go and do things and see if maybe this is allergies, or actually a sickness. But we're going to play hooky. Today is normally our like spend a whole day at the library day doing schoolwork and story time. It's kind of the kids' educational and club day, but we're not doing any of that. We're gonna play hooky. So yeah, I think that's about it. And I have 2 young children in the house already in their winter coats and boots waiting for me to finish up this live. So I'm gonna say good day to you. Happy winter. Frost is here, so enjoy those sad moments. They're a little bit sad, letting the garden go for the winter at your own home. Enjoy closing it down for the year and then resting for the winter. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. We'll catch you later. Live simply.